If wisdom is the house, understanding is the pillar that the house stands on. Without understanding, wisdom remains a mystery, unsolved. Wisdom remains a mystery unsolved without understanding. Even if you have obtained knowledge, you know, knowledge breaks down wisdom. Wisdom is too high for a fool. The plan and the purpose of God, all the things you see, is the wisdom of God. God reveals to you, you're going to be a multi-millionaire. That's God's wisdom. God revealed to you, oh, you're going to be the greatest gospel vocalist. That's God's wisdom. But it's useless until it is broken down into knowledge. Then further, because knowledge is to know, understanding breaks knowledge down to usable, applicable, practical unit. And a lot of the people that do not succeed in life with what they know that God wants them to have or what God wants them to do, sometimes is as a result of lack of understanding. And it's so important to know that somebody can have knowledge and they don't have understanding. It is in understanding that applicable units are gathered from the knowledge. And as a matter of fact, it's so important. One of the things God told me is that the greater the knowledge that the knowledge that has been gathered, the better is it for you to have understanding and, you know, greater understanding. You know, little knowledge, you will probably produce little understanding. You know, large body of knowledge, you will most probably produce sumptuous level of understanding. But until understanding, wisdom remains a mystery, unsolved. Okay? Understanding is, I've gathered this now. All right? I've gathered this. I've gathered all this knowledge. I've gathered all this fact, all this data, all these figures. You know, I've had this inspiration, you know, about what God wants to do in my life. Then how do I use this thing that I've gathered? How do I apply them? How many of you know that so many people have different sort of creams in the house, and they know that these creams work, but they don't even know how to apply them? So much money wasted on cream, but the person who has them does not know how to apply them, and is always looking at other people, you know, that have the same cream. They are glittering. I say, what is the issue here? The issue is not you're not knowing. The issue is you're not knowing how. The know-how. All right? That is why you discover that in the Bible you will hear understanding say, I am understanding, I have strength. And I find out the knowledge of witty verse, and I find out, I break knowledge down to practicable, applicable, usable unit.